Hello everyone, welcome back. We're at this point where the kids are talking to us. So of course we have omae, that's our name. Mo asa da yo. Mo kind of means like already. It can also, with negatives, it means like, you know, not anymore. But it kind of means like already, not anymore. I guess it can mean soon as well. It covers quite a bit of ground actually. Asa is morning, and then dayo just kind of declaring like it's morning, and then yo is, you know, kind of a vibe changey, confidently announcing something kind of particle. All right, man, nice place, dude. Cool. All right. Oh, okay, don't use the ladder. Fine. Do I need to... surely I have to talk to them, right? Surely well, I should. Right, I should. Oh, omae, shitteru ka? So just a noise and then our name. And shitteru is... Well, that's shitteiru. But this happens a lot in Japanese, where you drop the E for, like, present continuous form. In fact, I never use the E myself. I never use it. So shitteiru is its proper form, but shitteru, people will just drop the E. And yeah, I don't know if I do it excessively or if everyone just drops it. But, you know, you'll see it a lot, so it happens enough. And shiru, your base verb, is to know something. As in to be aware of something, to know something. Shitteru ka, so that's just, are you knowing? Kind of, very literally. But of course it translates much better to do you know? Or did you know, perhaps? Omise de ima pachinko ga utteru nda ze. We've got that form again there. So omise de. Omise is, well, mise is a shop or a store. That you often put an honorific on it. Some words just take honorifics more often than they don't. Or they kind of sound weird without honorifics, I suppose. I think omise is probably one of them, but definitely like okane, for example, is the word for money. You can't really just say kane. You kind of need the honorific. And ocha, people don't really say... Do people say cha? I don't think so. Some just sound better with the honorific and are more commonly used with them. De, just meaning at the store, and ima is now. So right, I suppose right now at the store. And this is odd. I don't know why he said ga here. Pachinko is a slingshot. Which I guess, you know, is why the pachinko parlors are called pachinko, is because you kind of fire balls round the thing, don't you? Like in pachinko parlors, places where people gamble. Maybe it's because it like fires a ball up, and then you sort of, it's kind of luck based, isn't it? But so I wonder if they must be kind of related, right? Pachinko. Anyway, in this case, it's a slingshot. And utteiru, it should be utteiru. Your verb here is uru, which is to sell, and so you have the present continuous form utteru, meaning to be selling. They are selling a pachinko. I don't know why it's ga. I thought you would use o with this, but it seems not. Pachinko ga utteru daze, and then you've just got kind of explanatory language and kind of a masculine ending. Pachinko daze, pachinko. That's pretty common. Repeating words and stuff. But yeah, you know, slingshot. Slingshot, dude. Slingshot is might be how you translate it, kind of thing. Dore hodo no ilyoku ga aru no ka tameshitai. Dore hodo is kind of like which amount, basically, and then no, just to link it to the next noun. So which amount of ilyoku, I suppose you could see it as which amount of power. Yeah, ilioku is kind of force or power, perhaps. And then ga aru, which amount of power exists, or which amount of power does it have, or how strong is it? Obviously, less literally. No ka, I suppose no, just again, kind of inquiring a lot, not to us, but just kind of, you know, really considering the question. And then ka is a questionizer, as we know. Ta here is just him, you know, I suppose wanting to do some, well, is it her? Him? I don't know, actually. But whoever's saying it is kind of stuttering because of how much they're saying tameshtai. And tameshtai, well, your base verb is tamesu, to try doing something, to test something. And then it's changed into tameshtai because it kind of translates into I want to try it. It is desirable to try it, would be literally what's going on here. But yeah, it translates much more naturally to I want to give it a go. I want to test it out. And they want to do it that much that they're kind of stuttering. Tameshtai. I think it was him, was it? I'm not sure. But yeah. Taro mo, maro mo, sonna ni hoshii nara, uchi no mise de kaeba ii janai. You see this a lot in Nintendo games, I've noticed, or especially Zelda. He's got a Triforce on his hand. Huh. Anyway, there should sort of be a question mark at the end here because it's a question, but they kind of often don't, and it makes it kind of difficult for, you know, for non-native speakers, you know, because we're trying to learn a language from this game, right? And so skipping punctuation can be quite the obstacle to us. But yeah, I've seen it enough that I think I've got the hang of it. But Taro is one of these guys' names. I don't know which. And then Maro is the other guy's name. But yeah, Taro mo and Maro mo. So this is like, the mo is like the inclusive particle. So it's like you... How did I translate this before? I think it goes quite well as being translated as like both Taro and Maro. You know, the two of you, both of you. And then sonna ni is like that muchly, to that extent, that kind of a, are a few translations of this, but yeah, to that much of an extent, that muchly. Hoshi nara. Hoshi is an adjective meaning to be desirable, but it translates, of course, better as if you want it that much. Well, I say if. Nara is your if. Nara is the conditional there. So if you want it that much. Uchi no mise de. I think that might be her. Uchi kind of can be a first person pronoun. So I wonder if she's saying, you know, at my store, or at, you know, my household's store, at the store owned by, you know, my mother, or, you know, my household, someone in my household. So I guess it's her mother's store. Uchi no mise de. And then kaeba I. We've got another conditional. I think we saw this in the last part with erabeba, which was if you choose. And here we have kaeba, derived from the verb kau, which is to buy. So if you buy it. And then I is kind of like, well, I suppose it's a full phrase. Kaeba I. It's like you should buy it. And then janai at the end, kind of like negating that in a questiony way, like you should buy it, shouldn't you? You know, yeah, but there's no question at the end, which, as I've said, is kind of annoying. Anna no takakute kaeneya. Anna. This is kind of the same as sonna in the last text box, but sonna. When she said it, she was sort of saying to these guys, so it's kind of, it's their feeling, so it's sonna. But this time they're referring to the slingshot, which is way, you know, which isn't, you know, it's not hers. It's not her, it's not near her, it's kind of, it's way over there, so it's distant. So for things that are really distant, you kind of use anna rather than sonna. So yeah, I don't know. I'll go over this better when there's a better example. This is a bit of a complicated one, but there'll probably be a simpler example later on in the game, so we'll cover it better then. But anna no takakute. The no here is kind of standing in for the noun. Wait a minute. Why is it anna no? Yeah. Okay. No. I think it is standing in for the noun. It's saying like such a slingshot, that kind of slingshot, that kind of thing, and then the adjective takai, which means expensive. But he's used the te form because he wants to add further information afterwards. So instead of takai, it's takaku te. So that slingshot is, expensive, kaiener, which is a mess, actually. It's from the verb kau, again, meaning to buy. Kaieru would be potential form, meaning to be able to buy. And kaienai is the negative potential forms, which means to not be able to buy. But then he's also further altered it. Rather than saying kaienai, he's going for the much rougher sounding kaiener, which doesn't change the meaning. It's just kind of rougher sounding, therefore kind of cooler and more casual sounding. Kaiener. And then yo at the end, just, kind of making a strong point. It's like, I can't buy that if it's that expensive. And then na, Besser, that's obviously her name, Beth. THs just change into S's in Japanese because they don't have, that's the closest sound they have, basically. So her name is Beth, but they call her Besser in Japanese. Na is, I guess, just a kind of a hey, Beth, it's kind of just an attention-getting kind of sound, I suppose. Na, Besser, chotto dake karite kite ya. Okay, chotto meaning just a little, dake is only, so only a little, and then kariru is the base verb meaning to borrow. He's obviously used the te form, karite, kite, so borrow it and come having borrowed it. Just for a little while kind of thing. So I guess that reinforces the fact that it is her family-owned, family-run store, because, she might have the ability, she might have the permission to borrow it for a little while. And of course, kite is the te form because he's requesting that she do that. Muri ni kimatteru desho. Muri means like, well, I suppose literally it's like to not exist logic, to not exist a reason. But muri basically means impossible. And then ni, well, yeah, kimaru is to be decided. Kimatte iru is just kind of a present continuous form, so it just means that, it is decided that it's impossible, which means, basically, it means it goes without saying. Like, it's, without saying so, it's decided that it's impossible. Like, there's no way I can do that. Muri ni kimatteru. And then desho is just kind of a rhetorical agreement seeking thing again. So it's just, it being impossible is already decided, isn't it? There's no way I can do that, is there? Hoshi nara kyōdai futari de. I didn't know that. Okay. Okozukai wo tameru koto ne. Hoshi nara, so again, if it's desirable or if you want it, less literally. Kyōdai is, this kanji is older brother, this one is younger brother, so kyōdai kind of means siblings of any combination. So even if you've got girls, well, I say any combination. If you've only got girls in a family, you probably won't say kyōdai, you probably say shimai. But if you've got boys and girls in a family, then you'll still use kyōdai. But in this case, I think these two are just brothers, right? So it's just kyōdai. Kyōdai futari de, so kind of as, perhaps in this case, as the two of you, as two brothers. Okozukai is pocket money, and tameru is to save up. So save up your pocket money. Oh, and then koto at the end is... This is basically a grammar point that means that you need to do something, or that you must not do something, or you must do something, or whatever. So you've just got koto at the end here, just meaning that, you know, if you want it, then you need to save up your pocket money as brothers, as two brothers. And then ne, again, kind of a rhetorical agreement-seeking particle. Sonna no muri. Suisha ga aru... What is this? Suisha ga aru ie yori pachinko ga aru ie ni umareta katta. Alright, good. Sonna no. So the no here, I suppose, is kind of standing in for what she just said, where she said, you know, save up your money as brothers, save up your pocket money. And he's saying, sonna no. It's like such a thing, such an action. And then muri, this time written in katakana instead of kanji, just meaning, again, you know, such a thing is impossible. And then this, I probably intonated that wrong. I think this is just a noise, right? So he's going, like out of despair kind of thing. And then suisha ga aru ie yori. So yori kind of meaning than, or more than, perhaps. You could probably stretch it to mean. But yeah, so kind of more than a house, ie, in which there exists a water wheel. How do I change this up? Umare... Oh my gosh. Okay, so more so than a house that, you know, to which there exists a water wheel. And then umareru is the passive of umu. Umu is to birth or to give birth. So umareru is the passive, to be birthed. Kind of sounds a bit gross when you put it literally into English, but there you go. So umareru is to be birthed or to be born. And umare... Tai would be kind of desire form, so it would be desirable to be born, but then he's taken it a step further and put it into past tense. So we've got umareta katta. I wanted to be born, I suppose, into a house in which there existed a slingshot. So rather than a house that has a water wheel, I wish I'd been born into a house that, you know, has a slingshot, is what he's saying. Just quite funny. Hence my laughing. Alright, so what do I even do? I just have to get money and buy the slingshot, do I? Is there a lot of money around? I kind of don't want the map, man. Can I get rid of that? Okay, nice. He's going to talk to me, isn't he? Yeah, he loves it. Oi, omae! So just calling us... Basically, soko kara eru de chumoku shite e de hanashikakete mi na. Soko kara. So again, we've got this kind of so thing referring to things that are closer to the listener. So this might be a better example than before. Yes, soko kara. Soko meaning that place where you are, and kara meaning from. So from there, eru de using L. Chumoku is like to focus or to concentrate, perhaps. And shite, the te form of suru. So it's just the te form so that he can add more information afterwards. So focus, using L from there, and then using A, hanash kakete mina. Hanash kakeru is to kind of begin talking to someone. And he's saying hanash kakite mi na. Which is kind of annoying. Using the stem of a verb and then na at the end is basically kind of quite a kind of familiar way to request someone do something. So this is the stem of the verb miru, which you can put onto the end of te form verbs to mean try doing, out of kind of an experimental kind of way. So it would be like, well, basically it translates into try talking to me using A, focusing on me using L from there. Is quite long, but there you go. I guess we'll do it. Oh, soda. Kokuda, koko. So just a noise and then soda. That's right. That's the way. That is so. So conveniently translates into the word so in English quite often. So soda, just a declarative there. Kokoda, another declarative. At, here. Not even at really, just here. Kokoda. Koko, here again. So here twice. Aikawarazu omae no koe wa yoku toru na. Okay. Aikawarazu basically means without, as ever. Unchangingly. I used to think it was kind of negative, but perhaps it's not. But yeah, aikawarazu, like as always, unchangingly, as ever kind of thing. Omae na koe. Koe is voice, so your voice. And then wa, just, that's the topic marker. Yoku toru. So toru is kind of to pass through something. Or to, simply to, I suppose, pass in front of something or pass through something or whatever. So yoku toru. Yoku just means like well. So it kind of travels well, I suppose, is quite a good translation. It kind of, your voice travels far. It travels well. And then na, just kind of, again, another rhetorical agreement-seeking particle at the end. Kondo uchi no gaki domo ni mo. Toku no hito to hanasu toki wa eru chumoku shinagara datte oshiete yatte kureyo. Oshiete yatte kureyo. I don't know how to intonate that. I really need to work on that stuff actually. So kondo kind of literally means now's time. Now time. But it better translates really into sort of next time, at the next opportunity, the next available chance kind of thing. Kondo, so this time, the next time. So kondo uchi no gaki domo. Uchi, again, maybe a first person pronoun just meaning like my. And then gaki means like brat. So little brat kind of thing. Kind of interesting that he's talking about his own kids like that. And then domo is a pluralizer. I think domo is a bit of a ruder pluralizer than tachi. So gaki domo ni mo. So yeah, so just two, like kind of even or also two my brats. And then toku no hito to hanasu toki wa. Toku is the kind of adverb form of toi, meaning distant or far away. And for some reason, toku no hito is preferable to toi hito. I don't know why, but it just kind of is. You get that with chikai as well, meaning to be close. Chikaku, not, or chikaku ni, rather than just chikai. They like to, for some reason, change the adjective into its adverb form for some reason. But yeah, toku no hito to hanasu toki wa. So the time when you talk with distant people, eru chumoku shinagara. Here we have kind of chumoku again, meaning to focus or to concentrate on something. And then we have the stem followed by nagara. So the stem of a verb plus nagara. Nagara means like while doing something. And so as I've said, like the stem of the verb plus nagara means while doing, whatever the verb is. So while kind of doing L focus. E datte. I don't know why it's datte actually. E datte. Oh no, I think I do know actually. He's saying Ada. So while L focusing, it's A is kind of a literal translation. It doesn't really work, but that's kind of how the Japanese is working here. Yeah, while L focusing, A is probably actually better. But then we have a declarative here, da, and then te, which is kind of a quoting particle. So he's sort of quoting this information and then asking us to do that quoted information. Here we have oshieru, meaning to teach, but we have, of course, the te form, oshiete, yatte kure. And so he is putting yaru after the te form to make it sound a bit rougher because he just wants to do that. Oshiete yatte kure. So again, this kind of maybe quite modest imperative kind of thing. And then yo at the end for just, I don't know, adding a bit of force, basically. So yeah, he's saying, like, you know, teach also to my, you know, my brats, you know, at the next opportunity. And then quote, this is what we'll be teaching them, quote, at the time you talk with distant people, whilst L focusing, A is kind of what he's saying. それよりお前ちょっとそのツタを使って登ってきな. I don't know why it's got a question at the end, actually. That's odd to me. But yeah, それより than that, or more importantly than what I've just said. お前 just our name. ちょっと kind of just meaning like a little. It kind of just lessens information sometimes, so I think he's just kind of trying to lessen his request by saying ちょっと, you know, why don't you try doing this a little kind of thing, you know, well, just a second, why don't you do this, you know, it's just lessening the request a little bit. So ちょっとそのツタを使って this verb here 使う to use, but obviously in its te form. So use そのツタ, use the vines, use those vines, I suppose I should say, and 登ってきな. Noboru to climb, and this is the stem of the verb kuru, meaning to come. So he's sort of saying come climbing, come up climbing here, using those vines. So maybe we're going to see a lot of this kind of stem plus na as a way of kind of requesting information in this game. There was lots of this in Wind Waker. Tetra loved asking people to do things with this stem plus na form. Anyway, I guess we should. Hey, dude. Oh, kitaka. So just a noise, and then, you know, kita, past tense, meaning, you know, came, basically. And then a questionizer. So, you came? Na, arete, zakaya no seiran soko no neko ka. Okay. Alright. No, just kind of like saying, hey. Just kind of getting our attention there. Arete. This te here is kind of replacing the wa particle. They kind of are sometimes sort of interchangeable, I think. But he's saying are. This is a good example here. He's saying are because this cat, he's talking about the cat, right? The cat is distant from the two of us. So it's not sore because it's not closer to me than it is him. It's far away from the both of us. So he's saying are, that thing over there, that cat, that guy over there, that cat over there. Arete, so that over there. Zakaya. Zaka is like kind of miscellaneous goods, I think. It's like bits and bobs. It's like kind of just whatever. And then ya is kind of just like a suffix for any kind of store. You'll get this on like almost any store really. Like a sushi ya san is you'll often append san as well. But like a sushi ya san is like a sushi shop or a sushi restaurant, or a keiki ya san would be like a cake, you know, a cake shop or whatever. So a zakaya is just a miscellaneous goods store. And then we've got no to link it to seira, which is the name of the owner. So zakaya no seira. And then we've got un, which is a shortening of the particle no. This should be no here to link it to more the information that follows. So zakaya no seira no toko no neko. Neko, of course, is cat. You probably know that. Neko is, I see Neko everywhere on the internet. It's in loads of people's usernames and everything, so you probably know Neko. But yeah, so that over there is the cat of Toko. Toko? What is Toko doing here? Arete zakaya no seiran toko. No neko ka. I wonder if it's just, you know, the cat of the household, or of the place of sailor of the, you know, miscellaneous goods store. I don't know, man. It's not that important, I suppose, but yeah. Aitsu ayate orenchi no gawa de. Is that right? Zutto kawa to nirame koshiten da. Okay. What is this? Aitsu, just meaning that guy. That thing over there. That cat. Ayate. Doing in that way. Maybe. Like, basically like that. Acting like that. Doing in that way. Orenchi no gawa de. Or is that sober? Hold on. Maybe I'll look that up. Hold on. Gawa. I assume it just means like beside. The side of something. I'll just see if there is hata. It's this kind of place where I kind of need furigana, really. But anyway, the kanji kind of means beside, right? So orenchi no gawa de. So at, beside, of. Orenchi is ore no chi. He's again shortening the no into n, which is common. Yeah, common enough. Yeah. So orenchi no gawa de, at, beside, of my house. Zutto, just meaning like for a long time. Kawa to. Kawa is a river. It's interesting to me that he's used to here. I didn't realise you could do that, but obviously you can. And then nirameru. Is that right? Let me check that. Nirameru. Yeah, just to glare at. Apparently that's an inflection. Niramu. Okay, hold on. I guess I should search for the actual... Oh, okay. Nirameko. Huh. Nirameko. I didn't know that. Staring out. Okay. Huh? Oh, staring out game. Game in which two children looking at each other try to make the opponents laugh first. Okay. Or constant looking at something. That's probably what we want, isn't it, in this case? Yeah. Oh, okay. No, I think that kind of works, actually. That might explain why it's toe. Because it's like with the river. With the river, the cat is kind of, you know, playing this game of, you know, stare down. They're doing a stare down with the river, maybe. And then, of course, we have stender, which is... That's tough, isn't it? This is the verb suru, changed into its kind of present continuous, like shiteiru. But what happens in Japanese is R sounds can often just get changed into an N sound. So instead of saying shiterunda, we've just got stender. So the unda at the end here is actually kind of that explanatory language. So we just have... Yeah, he's just telling us information. He's just explaining information. So yeah. He or she, I don't know actually, whatever, the cat, that cat, doing in that way, doing like that, at beside of my house, for ages with the river, he or she is doing stare downs with the river. Sakana demo toru tsumori kana? I think that's toru. Is that toru? I better check. Or is it eru? Hold on, I've mistyped. Could it be toru? Hold on, I'll just go with this one. It should offer some other... It doesn't offer other kanji. Okay. Well, I'll have to search for another word that I know has it. Shukaku. Oh no, that's not even right, is it? That's the wrong kanji. Okay. Let's do it by radicals then. we've got a 3-stroke thing on the left. That one. And then we've got a 2-stroke thing at the bottom. That one. And that only leaves one kanji. Okay. Eru. Of course it's eru. Acquire. To get. Okay. So, sakana demo eru tsumori kana. Okay, sakana is fish. And demo kind of... It kind of just means whatever. A fish or whatever. A fish or something is kind of the vibe. And then eru, obviously to get. And then tsumori is like one's intent. So it might mean that the cat, you know, considers that it will get a fish or something by sort of focusing on the river and, you know, perhaps eventually, you know, trying to catch something. But yeah, the tsumori just means it is convinced, perhaps. It considers its actions. It considers that its actions will result in it getting a fish, perhaps. And then kana means to wonder. Kind of comes at the end of things. And so he's kind of saying, like, I wonder if it believes it's going to get a fish or something. And then haha. Well, I don't know. Haha. Ha ha. I don't know, man. I don't know how to intonate it. But that's just laughing, right? And then neko nya tsuri wa muri da yo na. Is it really? Is that true? Neko, obviously cat. Nya is a shortening. That's quite funny, actually. Nya is a shortening of the two particles ni and wa. So they're sort of combined together. Rather than saying ni wa, he's just saying nya. But what's funny about it is the fact that this is the sound that cats make as well. So when you sort of imitate cats, you'll go like nyan. That's the noise they make. They sort of say nyan and nya and stuff. So it's, I'm sure that's very intentional on Nintendo's part. But yeah, neko nya. So that kind of means like 2 cats, or in the case of cats, 4 cats. Tsuri is the noun form of the verb tsuru, meaning to capture, well, to fish, to catch fish. So tsuri is its stem, making it into a noun. So fishing, 2 cats is muri. We've got muri again. It's impossible to cats to fish. Fishing is impossible for cats. And then dayona, just kind of like both seeking agreement but also stating something confidently. It's kind of funny. But yeah, there you go. Dayona. Otto, sonna koto yori hora. Otto is kind of just a... I don't know, man. It's kind of just a noise. I guess it sort of expresses having messed up a little bit. So he's probably saying like Otto in the sense of like, oh, I completely forgot to mention. Like, whoops, I should have said, kind of thing. Sonna koto yori. So than such a fact, or than such an occurrence, than such a thing, or more importantly, than such a thing. Hora means kind of like, you know, look, take a look. Soko no gake ni haeteru no te, omae ga yoku fuiteru kusa da yo na. Soko. Why is he saying Soko? That's interesting. I feel like he should be saying Asoko because it's distant from the 2 of us, but he's not. He's saying Soko. Soko no gake. Over there's cliff. And then ni, so at the cliff over there. Haete iru, again. Haeru is to grow. So this grass or whatever is just growing. No te, so the no is standing in for is replacing, excuse me, it's kind of just replacing the noun. And then the te is kind of, again, replacing wa. So it kind of translates into the growing over there, or what's growing over there. And then the defining information of that, what is growing over there. So at that cliff, what's growing is you often blowing grass. The grass you often blow. And then dayona, just kind of, isn't it? So what's growing over here is the grass you often kind of blow through, isn't it? Yeah, so kusa is grass. Fuku is to blow, and this is obviously present continuous. Fuiteru, fuiteiru ideally, but yeah, fuiteru. And that's modifying grass. Yoku meaning often, and omaya just referring to us. So the grass that you are often blowing, isn't it? That's what's growing over there. Anna tokoro ni haeru no mezurashii kara oshiete yarou to omotte sa. Okay. Anna tokoro ni haeru no. So the no basically acting as a nominalizer here, meaning kind of changing it from to grow into growing. So it's kind of like it's growing at such a place is mezurashi. Mezurashi means rare or uncommon or whatever. It's rare. And then kara meaning so. It growing over there is rare, so omotte-sa. That's kind of annoying. You could probably change this just into omotta, which is the past tense of omou, meaning to think. So you could probably just change it into past tense, meaning I thought, and then quote. This to is kind of a quote particle, kind of quoting what he thought. So I thought, quote, oshiete yarou. I thought I will tell you. I thought I'll tell you it's growing over there because it grows. It doesn't grow there often. I thought I would tell you that it's there. Yeah, okay, that's probably good for that. Omae nara kore gurai no iwaba 3D スティック上で渡れるだろう. Let me look up the reading for that. Iwaba. Oh, okay. Rocky area. Rock wall, rock face. I think they're pretty poor translations, to be honest. I feel like... Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's okay. But yeah, no, maybe that's fine. Maybe we should just go with the dictionary. So, omae nara. This nara, after, like, referring to someone, kind of means... It kind of means, like, you in particular. The nara is kind of a conditional, but it's like, when it comes to you, if it's you in particular, in your case in particular, I think, like, you'll often get people saying, like, omae nara, and then something good. Like, if it's you, you can do it. If anyone can do it, you can do it, kind of thing. People are very positive with this, I feel. And that's probably what's going on here. Omae nara kore gurai no iwaba. Kore just meaning this. Gurai kind of meaning approximately. So it's like, if it's this, maybe this kind of. If it's this kind of rocky area, or if it's this kind of rocky platforms. Or in the case of these sorts of, platforms and stuff. 3D stick ue de, using up on the 3D stick. And then wataru is to, basically just to kind of to cross over something, or to cross over something, basically. But he said watareru, which is the potential form. So he's saying you can cross over, approximately, if it's approximately this much of an area, you can cross over it, can't you? Using up on the 3D stick. And the daro is the can't you kind of vibe. It's like, you can do it, can't you? That's kind of quite a while there, isn't it? I don't know, man. It's like 45 minutes on that on my timer. What do I even do? Oh yeah, I remember. So the monkey. Okay, the monkey has the basket, right? So we can get that back for the woman. And then she gives us a fishing rod, and then we can get a fish for the cat, and then the cat goes back to her master, who then agrees to sell us things again, right? I remember some things. Okay, well I might just leave this bit here then. Hopefully, again, explanations will hopefully get quicker as we, you know, no longer need to cover things in such detail as parts go on, but yeah. Yeah, okay, perhaps I'll leave that there then. And we'll do those things I just mentioned, hopefully, next time. Cool. Alright, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and or support if you want. Don't if you don't. Thanks to my patrons, and I'll catch you next time.